All right. Welcome. Go through the normal process, which is going through the demo, what you worked on the previous week, and then we'll go through our learning module, and then look at the tasks as usual. All right, so we can start. Let me quickly allow you to share. Whoever wants to share. Okay.
Hey everyone. So Michelle is not here. So
yeah, she said she's coming.
okay, so I guess the other team should start. If that's okay, of course. Okay.
Okay, so I will start by sharing my screen. Okay, here. And okay. Can everyone see my screen? Okay. So just wanted to demo our issue that we had this week, where we have to compute the estimate for when we would have to be able to purchase the item again next time. So basically, based on the current purchases, how the dates change for the future when I need it again. So to do that, I want to create a new list and just add a couple items. So and so I'm adding them all with soon. So that would be 7 days. So here we have the list. Let me just refresh here, so we can see it. Okay, here we are. So this is the new list. So the current estimate is 7 days because I chose that we would need this item soon. Date created is today. We don't have a date last purchase because I haven't purchased it yet. So we're assuming the date next purchase is 7 days from now. And we don't have any previous estimates or any purchases because it's a brand new list. So let's go ahead and check oil, assuming that we're purchasing it, to see how the list changes on the database. Okay, so this changed to, we have a purchase. So the previous estimate was 7 days, but we actually ended up buying it in 1 day. So the date next purchase is supposed to be tomorrow. So the only other thing I wanted to add here is what happens if we're assuming that we bought this 2 days ago. So we're unchecking it and see what happens if we purchase it again. Just wanted to take a screenshot so we can see differences here. So let's click oil again. Okay, so the previous estimate changed from 7 days to 1 day. And now we've added another purchase. And the next purchase date is 6 days from now. And I will let Nita go ahead and show the code.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Mide.
Okay. So this last week, she already showed what we did. So our code here, this is our code. This is the code we worked on, and then in the Firebase. So we still dealt with our, if it is checked, what it should do. So we are adding to the total purchase here with this. This was done last week, but this has been refactored. And then we are calculating our current estimate. The handle change, once we click, it affects what we did here in the Firebase. So this is our update item. And then we had to do this since last transaction. And then we created this get days between dates. This here, this function. So it gets the current time and the difference between the date last purchased. We use these two mills. These two mills can be found in the Firebase documentation. It converts to milliseconds. And then we did the difference. We just named it randomly. Math.seal difference divided by, so this gives us per day. So maybe it's 1 day, 2 days, because we have in milliseconds. So we divide by what millisecond stands for. So that's what this function is. So the math.absolute just removes whether there's a negative. So it's absolute. And so here we use this to calculate our days since last transaction because it's needed in this calculate estimate that we brought in. And then what we have here is the item, the total purchases, item data the date last purchased, or we get between dates this, or date created. So we are checking for the date last purchased or the date created, or it's null. It's one of these. And so we have our calculate estimate here. We created this previous estimate here, and then we put it here so that I can store our previous estimate because we needed it in our calculation. And then we have this since last transaction that we got from here, and item to total purchases. So this helps to calculate the estimated date of next purchase. And so here we had a lot of issues trying to, because once we update, it was just updating the date last purchased and all that. But we're able to do this with the help of Chiamaka. She actually did this, that if the item, that means if the total purchases is not updated, then it shouldn't update the date last purchased. It shouldn't update any. If this is not updated, then it's not going to update any other thing. So that way we were able to fix the bug that we're having, because previously it was just updating the date last purchased. Once there is a check or an uncheck, it updates the date last purchased. So here we have it. So this is what we worked on. Thank you. Do we have any questions or observations? Thank you, everyone.
I don't have any question.
Okay, so yeah, well done, Mide. I can see you did a little tweaking in list item. You passed so you changed the data coming from database, and then you passed the item.
So what I figured was, yes, what I figured was that there was no need for us to be writing everything. We just put what we are changing, and then we tell it we await the update item and pass every other thing. So it will change only these two. The other ones that we want left as it is left, because before we had to list everything out.
So that's what I was trying to explain that day. Remember when I said you can use the spread operator? So now that you have it now, the checks we are doing in the Firebase is no longer necessary, because now we have all of the parameters, all of the object keys coming from database. We have total purchases, we have current estimates. Remember in Firebase, we are checking if we have those items.
This was used to check against them to make sure that it only updates when this is increasing. That means when we check it.
All right. Well done. It's working. Okay. And even the bug we noticed, Andrew noticed the previous time, I can see it's also working really well now.
Yes, but it doesn't fix. Okay, thank you everyone. I'll stop sharing.
All right. So thanks, Midi. Thanks, Cuesta. And we will move to the other team. I don't know if Victor, if you can start until Michelle come, or
okay, it's okay, no problem. I will start by demoing the code. If she's here, she will handle the.
Okay, she's here. Let's give her a few minutes. She's here.
Okay, So should I start?
Let's give her a few minutes. She is connecting, so she is the one who will demo the production, right?
No, she'll demo the code, I think. If she's
Oh,
fine
okay.
with
So
that.
you can go ahead and start with production then.
Okay, okay. Okay, you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Our issue this week was basically validating the input against what is stored in the list. So the feature in production works like this. For example, a user creates a new list. They are taken to the list view, and let's say they want to add an item. Use maybe milk and give it a kind of soon, then add the item. The item is added, and if you check the list view, you see the item already updated in the list. So our issue was to prevent the user from adding variations of the same item. For example, the milk item that I have is capitalized milk. If the user tries to add another item, same item but maybe different case, for example, milk, small, lowercase, if the user attempts to add it, they get an error that, oh, sorry, I think I messed up a little. Just a minute. Oh, sorry, I don't know why. Let me try and refresh.
Are you sure you are in the correct branch? Are you? But you are demoing. You are demoing from
I'm
production.
demoing in. Yes, I'm demoing in the production. I don't know what has changed. Just a minute. Let me confirm that.
Okay.
Something a little funny.
Did you check like? Did you check this before? Because
Yeah, I
I know
did.
I know your future was working, but maybe when the last merge, did you have Claystand, did you had any conflicts when you did the last merge?
There were no conflicts, no.
There are no
Okay.
conflicts. I'm not sure what's not happening.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I just tested it a little. Okay. Let me try again. I'm adding an item. So yeah, I think that was added. Let me try it again. Capitalized. No. It's still not working.
Okay.
If so, it might be problem with deployment, right?
I guess so.
Or if you can hard refresh.
Try to empty cache and refresh to see if it has updated.
Let me see if I can do a hard refresh first.
So cluster, when you say locally, do you mean your main branch? You pull down the main branch and then you're trying to do it?
Sorry, this is why I wanted to change. This is why I changed what I said. I meant in production on my browser, not
okay.
meaning locally.
All right. So do you have you pulled down your latest changes locally?
Yeah, I have. Yes, maybe I should demo the in localhost.
Yeah, so the main branch, the main like everyone has merged their own PR into the main branch. You can pull the main branch and then demo your feature. That way we know that it's problem with deployment and not your task.
Okay, let me do that. So let me start this over. Okay, so I'm starting in localhost.
Okay, and you've updated your branch, right?
Yeah, I did the git pull just before.
All right.
I'm through. Okay, so let me attempt it here. So the user creates a list and they're taken to the list view where they are prompted to add an item. So we'll try that again. Make with a small kind of sign. The item was added, so confirming the list view, the item exists. So we'll try and add it again in a different case. And it still works. It's still strange.
We can try and take a quick look at the code to see if there's anything.
Okay.
So you can we could probably check your branch first. Can you check out your branch, and then since Raider said he saw your code and it was working well when he approved.
Yes, is their future was working properly. So
I think we should check out our branch now.
If it works in your branch, it means it's problem with merging.
Okay. Okay, let me test it again. So the first item was added. Just confirm it still there. Yeah, I think it works in the branch now. So yeah, when the user tries to add a variation of the same item, they get an error telling them the item already exists. If the item probably has maybe spaces and maybe a punctuation mark, the item, they're still told the item exists. That's because the item is just a variation of what already exists in their list, I think. Yeah. So another part of the issue was to prevent the user from adding a blank item. So I'll put some spaces and try to add. They get an error telling them to enter an item name. So yeah, the feature enables the user not to add a blank item and not to repeat an item in the same list. So yeah, that was our feature. I think Michelle will talk about the code.
I think okay. So I wanted us to, as Aristo said, to quickly look at the code to know where the problem is from. It will be on GitHub, maybe the main branch on GitHub. And if you can, which files you can locate your code on the main branch, because your branch is merged and it's not on the main branch. I'm trying to understand where that went wrong.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's only me, but even in previous issues, sometimes we had delays in updating with the main branch. You would have to refresh severally. I don't know if anyone had the same problem.
Mm. So you're on main now. You can
Yes.
just check if the branch you guys worked on, the file you worked on have your changes.
I just checked that right now. Like the regex they added and the function it's there. So I don't know
It's
what's
there. It's there actually. Everything
yeah.
is
So the problem is what you have locally. So our
not
main
really.
No, no.
branch.
Actually, the problem is what's uh in the repo in the
On
main
GitHub.
branch on
Yeah,
GitHub.
in the
Yeah, the
main.
problem is is in the main branch. Doesn't
Mm.
matter locally or on GitHub. The problem is there.
Oh. Okay. So, but they have I can see the regex on the main branch on GitHub.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
there.
it's there, but there is something missing, and I'm unable to see what's there.
All right, all right. I'll also look at it maybe after the meeting or tomorrow morning. But
Okay.
it's a good thing your branch is working and then you guys delivered on your feature. Well, sorry.
Okay, okay.
If your branch is working, you can try doing an MR to see if there are any differences between our code on main and your code on branch. Maybe when doing an MR, because I think I see there are a couple of commits between today and your MR. You can see if there's anything that got deleted there.
Aristos, do you mean what they have on their branch that is not on main, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Yeah.
So this is the main branch and their code is there. Like this line, like this particular line where you have the regex is their code.
Yeah, that's on main, right? Okay, we can take a look at it later, maybe not during the meeting.
Okay.
I'll try to pull down the main this night to see if I have the same problem, and then I'll reach out on Slack.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Sorry, I should check this stuff, but I had a crazy weekend, so I wasn't able to check like the last merge, the deployed version of everything is okay. Okay.
All right, so we can see the code now.
Okay. Rach, are you ready?
Yeah, she's on the call.
But she said she.
Hello.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get that part. Should I present now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
The code for your feature.
Okay. Let me share my screen. I think I have issues with my Zoom, so I really don't know. I've not been seeing the screen, so it's just blank. I just hope my own screen will be visible. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, we worked in the add item file, and inside the file, what we did first was to get a map through our data. So we brought in our data here from list, and we brought it in as a prop, and we are mapping through it. So if the data is available, we want to display for the name of the item in lowercase. We want to replace and remove the punctuation. So we're using regex to remove punctuation for all the names that's in the data. So in our handle submit function, we check we are removing, we use trim to remove any extra spaces, and checking if the item name or the name that is being entered is an empty string. And if it's an empty string, it will give them a message that's to enter an item name, and we set a timeout for the message to disappear after 3 seconds. And also the set new item should be empty. So, and else if we are checking for if the name that is being entered already exists. So if there is a duplicate, that it should also give them a message that the item already exists, and the message should be uh, deleted after 3 seconds and empty the input. And else, if the item that was entered doesn't exist already, then it will be saved in our database, and it will be saved in our database, and they will have the successful message that is being added, and it will go empty afterwards. So that is what we did, and this we disabled the required. I don't think it's needed anymore. Uh, that is just it. I don't know if anyone has any question. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay.
I don't have any question. Clean code,
Okay.
great work.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any question?
Not for me. Great work, guys and girls.
Okay, so I will pass it to Shamaka.
Right. I'm going to share my screen and then we'll do a learning module. All right. So just to say something, a little something about, our demos, and then they just warned me that my network is unstable. Can you hear me? Is my I guess not. Hello?
I don't know if it's just for me, but you are crashing a little bit.
Yeah, it's not just for you, it's for me as well.
All right,
Okay.
all right. Let me restart my internet. Hello, is it better?
Yes.
Please, if I start cracking, someone should call me to order so that I can stop speaking.
Okay, you are crashing again.
You can,
oh my God.
You can try turning off your video.
Right?
Yeah, we just looking at your screen anyway, so.
All right. That's so safe, right? I've seen what is causing it. I guess it will be better now, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. So I was speaking about the demos and how important the demo is, have and then speak through the feature. It's a really valuable someone to have. And I'm really happy that Collab Lab made that a part of what we do. All of 8 weeks. It will really be something you really know how to do that, and it helps with interviews. And then even when you get the jobs, you have to meet with clients or stakeholders of the product you're building. So yeah, I just want to say the developers are able to, you know, speak through their demos. During Reda's time, the first time he went through, he presented his own.
You are crashing a little bit again.
Oh my God.
It's just some words cutting. I don't know if it's just for me.
Actually, it's breaking.
Okay.
How am I going to do the presentation with this? What is all this? Oh my.
Well, it's the internet struggle.
So even if I want to restart my internet, I'll need to drop off. So only gone to the issues because I don't know. How is it now?
You should like keep talking so we can know, because it's only crashing in seconds. Like we can't hear one word and we hear a sentence, and then we can't hear like a word and so on.
So in conclusion, see the sweet talk I was giving. Network is stuck cutting. All right, in conclusion, we are really doing well, you know, and if we can continue this way, you know, demoing our project and then having to, it's a nice soft skill to have. So that's it. And come back, or do I continue? I guess it's now too bad. Okay. And if I drop this, hello?
Yeah, we can like.
Hi, I could hear you.
We can hear you half.
Aristos, maybe you can.
I can try and share and you do the talking because I haven't gone through the presentation and yeah, I can try to screen share if you want.
Okay. Tasks, right, for next week, or you want to take the presentation?
I think we could do it next week because I haven't gone through the presentation myself. Okay. So okay, I really would just be reading a presentation and not actually talking some meaning.
Yeah.
Into it.
Okay, so we can go ahead with the tasks, and then when we are done with the tasks,
yeah,
so bad.
We can we can either go back or do it on our next meeting. Okay.
All right. So you can go ahead with the tasks.
Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen and go through the tasks. So 1 moment. Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's go. So we are only left with 3 tickets now. So let's go on the first one. As I said, I think the previous tasks were the most difficult ones, actually. So number 11 is just a deletion for every item, so that my list isn't cluttered with items I don't want to buy in the future. And you know, the users might have made a mistake or may decide that they don't want to be buying a certain item in the future. So it's a very essential feature that we allow them to delete a list item. So yeah, the acceptance criteria would be that the list item component would render a button that will allow the user to delete an item from the list. We also need to have we need to have a delete button to prompt the user to confirm his action, which is a pretty standard in UI and UX, that when you do a destructive action, you need to warn the user. And we need to fill the delete item function from API/Firebase to actually delete the item from the Firestore database. Just a couple of notes. As I said before, we just want to give the users the chance to confirm the destructive actions, and don't create your own modal dialog to handle confirmation. Just use the JavaScript confirm dialog. So that's the first ticket of the week. Going to the second one, we need to sort our shopping list items in order of how soon we are going to need them. So I can see the items that I will need to buy soon firstly. I would just read the whole summary. Just what needs to be said is that the sorting will happen by need to buy soon. So the first items will be shown that will be shown will be the 7 days or earlier. Then kind of soon, 7 and 30 days, not soon, 30 days, and the inactive items, which means that it's more than 60 days that have passed since the last purchase. And this is the order that we need to show the items on our list. The acceptance criteria for this task would be that the items will be shown with an indicator that tells the user that they need to be bought soon, or kind of soon, or they are inactive. And this urgency indicator should not only rely on color. For example, they should not only be red for soon and yellow for kind of soon, and so on and so forth, but we should also have some text. And as you can see, we will need the compare purchase urgency function from API/Firestore, which does sort the items and returns them to us. And there's also a stretch goal that if you complete all the previous acceptance criteria, you can consider what will happen when date next purchase has passed, but it isn't yet inactive. So maybe overdue, something like that. And you can, but that's a stretch goal. You can try to extend the functionality and accordingly indicate it on your UI. So yeah, that's also a nice issue. It's not, yeah, it's actually a tough one, but okay, I think it will be done. So yeah, a couple of things that you need to to take care in is how to indicate the purchase urgency, how to sort the list, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions so far? Perfect. So
I think I have a question. I just wasn't
okay.
clear on what they mean by your team will need to create some new UI element.
Yeah. Yeah. That has to do with for example, how will you explain the color coding between the items that need to be between the items? For example, the soon will be, for example, red, and kind of soon will be yellow. Also, you will have to show with text, so you need to make some modification there as well. So so the user knows how their items are sorted.
Sorry, I was supposed to interrupt you. Maybe with with area label for the checkbox. If you could open the wireframe, I don't know if I think there is colors for the. If you go down, there is a wireframe. Where is it? Or maybe maybe it was in the previous issue. Sorry, never mind.
Don't worry. Maybe
I remember it was. So the checkbox, I guess the checkbox need to be colored, depending if it's stone, or if it's stone, it needs to be red, and so on. If it's kind of stone, yellow, and so on. And also the checkbox need to have area label. Maybe I can't assure this is 100% truth. Okay, so here we go. Yes.
Yeah, something similar to that.
Okay, I understand. So I think they're talking about the area label, the UI, besides the color.
Besides the besides the color.
Okay, I thought we needed to add something to the UI besides colors. That wasn't clear, but yeah, that sounds good. It's area. Okay.
Perfect.
Another thing I noticed in this issue, in the last note, they said about how tricky it is to sort like the arrays with multiple criteria. If you can go back to the issue, Aristos. So the last note, the last sentence. Sorting by multiple criteria can be trickier for the end hooks for dot sort. So I don't know about this, Shamaka, but if you remember in our cohort, the Firebase function that there is a Firebase function with what we are fetching data, we can actually sort with it. She can actually give you like the items already sorted.
The sorting parameter probably.
Yeah, the sorting. So I don't think they will need the array dot sort, because dot sort will be really hard to implement. But they can just use the sorting parameters. Let me just check the tops real quick because it's been a while.
Yeah, and generally sorting should be happening on the back end, not on the front end.
Yes.
So you
so
will
like
just use the parameters. While fetching the data, exactly. So you can use
but I don't know like if that's sorry, Aristos, I'm interrupting again. But I don't know if that's if like the purpose of the issue is to use sort, or it's.
So I think you have to sort with so many parameters, and with backend you can only tell it to sort by a particular column or a particular parameter. So I guess if every criteria they have to satisfy can be done on the backend, then I don't see how that cannot work. But
it can. In the Firebase and in the I'm interrupting again. Sorry. So in the Firebase documentation, you can actually sort by multiple criteria. You just need to configure a key. You don't need actually to configure, but you just need. So when you pass multiple criteria, you will have an error in your console log, and they will give you a link to configure for you that sorting.
So what about the one about if it's more than 2 times something. How is there a way they can do that one on the back end?
Which one?
Sending other inactive, yeah. So the inactive is supposed to be if it's been really long that the user bought it and they've not bought the item again.
Okay.
60
I'm not
days
sure.
passed since the last. I
Yes,
guess
you
if,
can still pass it's still condition, I guess. So anyway, it's just a hint for it's their choice after all to see with what they will work. I will just take a look at the Firebase documentation and share the documentation. And in the end, it's their choice. I just thought it's easier to do it because, like in the issue now, I guess in the issue now, I feel like they are forcing them to use sort.
Yeah. Generally, you shouldn't use sort on client. So try to do the job with the function from Firestore when fetching the data.
So I don't know if it makes sense for the start media Rachel Victor. What do you think? I will share first. So I don't know if what I was saying does make sense to you or not.
so I guess so they had two options, either doing it on the front end with sorts or doing it with Firebase sorts. They find easier to use because Firebase can be a hassle too sometimes. So if they are more comfortable with array.sorts, then they can go for it. So the backend sorting is always advised when you have a lot of lists and you're fetching by. Of course, there is no way you can sort on the front end when you still have some data in the database. But now that we are not doing pagination and they can actually use array.sort in the front end to anyone that works. Okay, Questa.
I was just curious. Oh, I think I'm not sure if that link is maybe the answer to my question, but I wasn't sure how to since we have Firebase on the back end, like what you mean by doing the sorting on the back end. So is it on the database itself or is it on the firebase.js file in the code?
It's in the firebase.js file. So we have a function that already in the data for us. And if you enter that link, what I just sent, there is order by. And for the order by, you just need to pass that parameters to the function that already fetching the data. You are passing the order by parameter, and you are saying with what you want to like with what document, not document, but field. Yeah, field. With what field? With the name, with the date, with whatever you want. And actually, you can like even pass multiple order by. So I will share my screen real quick if that's okay, Aristos.
Yep.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here they are already like given to. We have this already in our function. We have something like this in our function in Firebase, I believe. So you just need to pass this. So here they are passing actually two things, like the order. They are ordering with the state and they are ordering with the population as well. So you can maybe use the same. I remember in my cohort, that's what we did.
Okay.
And there is, sorry. But this will, just remember that this will give, there is nothing about it in the documentation, which is like sucks. But when you give in to order by, like to, where is it? I lost it. Anyway, when you give to order by, that will cause an error. But if you open just the console log, that will give you a link to configure that specific like order by. Anyway, it's your choice, and during the week we are here, so you can always like just reach out to us if you don't understand something.
Okay, great.
I
Thanks.
just wanted to mention it because I believe it's easier than sorting with the sort. That's all.
So who would like to take which issue?
Don't give me any hard issues.
Okay.
This suffered enough.
So I will assign I will assign Mide to number 11 along with who wants to go with Mide.
So
Okay, I will put can I put Klista with Mide and Rachel with Victor? Is that okay with you guys? Just random
Let's
selections.
check.
If you
We
prefer other teams, it's up to you. It's really up to you. Just random selections.
Reda, can you quickly please check how we're pairing? We have
Sorry,
the list
I
of,
will.
we have,
I will.
so I think it's
So
Mide and Victor this week.
yeah, no,
Okay.
it's Midi and yeah, Midi and Victor.
Perfect.
So Cluster and
Oh.
Rachel for the other one.
Yeah. Sorry, Calista. It's your second time also having like you worked on the hard issue last week, but
Tell me who has office hours this week. I'll be there.
it's me. I may have them like, okay, probably Wednesday. Yeah, and that's all.
So how do you guys feel about me still doing the communication for devs? Is my audio better now? It's still not good?
Well, we can hear you, so you can try. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Can any other person confirm? I think Lester was saying it wasn't coming out well from her end.
Sorry, Shamaka, what you said?
Is my voice still cracking?
For now, it's good.
So I'm going to start the presentation and try to go through it really fast. And then you can, it starts to break again. All right? All right. Okay. So what we have this week is communication for devs. It's just talking about how solves the different tools, the different ways, the different methods, and how to enhance for everyone. So the second slide is talking about communication being key, really, even outside of software development. Generally, communication is everything. So if you have that right, it's really nice. So we're going to communication, ways of communication among developers. So the first one we're going to talk about is documentation. So why yourself, what did I do again when documenting, trying to document for other developers? One is writing things down can really help you. Speaking to documentation, great tools for revisiting big decisions, so useful for onboarding new members. Of course, if you already have everything written down, it will save everybody a lot of time and strength. So it avoids institutional knowledge and then empowers all team members. Having a documentation is really nice, and it's a good way to communicate among developers. Then how? Write for the person who knows the list, how to optimize for the person who needs a quick reference. And then they made example with this React Router DOM documentation is like among the tools that I use every day. This is actually one of the best. They have the quick links here. It's very easy to navigate. They have the code examples. You can like really copy code that you need. So a quick reference, really nice. So the second communication method we are going to look at is pull requests, which we are really conversant with. So why? It gives reviewers context on your code. And then a big part of interviewing is robust PR description, helps you remember. Someone is in the chat. Am I breaking again? Where's the chat here?
You are fine, Shamika. It's just me.
Okay. All right, so a part of interviewing is talking and working through your code, which is what I was saying initially, like having to talk through your code is really a nice skill to have. Shorts, videos, links to resources and permanent links to code you reference, and then self-review before asking others. We've gone through a PR module before, so it's really another really as communicate. Someone was saying the other time, I don't know if you guys saw that tweet, that when Elon Musk buys Stack Overflow and then makes everyone to pay. So it's just an example of how developers communicate using GitHub and pull requests and issues and everything. So another way devs communicate is comments in code. It gives your team members more context while they're actively through code that you implemented. And then code can in some ways be self-documenting, but decision behind the code are not why we need code, comments in code. And then how you focus on why this code was written rather than what the code does. Towards why it was written, not what it does, because developers can easily know what it does, but why you've taken that approach is what someone would want to see in the comments. I'm going to go through this example. All right, so they gave an example of, a comment in code. Make sure default index is an array, and then we'll handle. So it's speaking to why you're taking that approach less than what it's doing, because someone can really do it. So this comment is trying to explain that. Yeah. So that's really it. A very short one, speaking to how devs can communicate among teams. So did you guys get all of that, or did I break at some point?
We got everything.
We got everything. I'm sorry, but I'll have to sign off for tonight, guys.
All right.
Okay, sorry, but just something came up, so I'll have to go.
See you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you during the week, and we'll talk through GitHub and through Slack and maybe calls. Okay.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks very well.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. As we round up, I know the when I was going through it was really straightforward and self-explanatory, but does anyone have anything to add to, communication among developers, or have you had experience with any of them, especially the comments in code? initially I wasn't doing it. When I started learning how to code newly, I didn't really see the need, because I was like, see, you can see the code I wrote, so why will I have to explain it? But as time went on, I started seeing the need. You know, I also saw that my senior developers that I'm working on the same code base with, their comments are really helpful when I'm trying to understand their code. So it's
You're cut again.
I noticed they just warned me. All right. So does anyone have anything to say or before we close out?
No.
All right. So that would be it then. So great work, everyone. We are really moving as expected, and everyone is bringing their A game. So yeah. Cheers to another successful week. See you guys on Slack. And don't forget to ask questions.
Bye. Bye.